Today I will be talking about how we as a family and as parents can have faith at home using Deuteronomy 6:4-9. I'm going to be reading this passage and then I'll break it down into different verses and then we'll look at those separately. So, Deuteronomy 6:4-9. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. And these words that I command you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. The first verse we're going to look at is Deuteronomy 6:4-5, which is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. The Lord is our one and only God. We are called to worship, glorify, and live for Him. The first commandment from the 10 Commandments says, Thou shalt have no other gods before me. We were created to worship God and have a relationship with Him. Our divine purpose is the Great Commission to spread His gospel. Matthew 28:18-20 says, And Jesus came and said to them, All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And beyond, I am with you always to the end of the age. So, we are called to spread the gospel. That involves us spreading the gospel to our children and raising them in the faith. But this also carries out in our own life through our friends, and you can be an influence to other people's kids. But most importantly, you want to build a foundation for your kids that they can one day, even as young kids, they can go out and spread the gospel to their friends at school and at parks, at church, anywhere. And so you want them to be a living testimony of Jesus. The next verse we're going to look at is Deuteronomy 6:7. You shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. The Bible teaches, commands, and shows promises. It shows us exactly who our Creator is. This is the book we are to reference, whether it be in our own lives or in teaching children. God's Word is the only source that will guide us in complete truth. Church isn't the only place that children are to be taught faith. Teaching your children about God and His Word at home is just as important as them being taught in church. The church and home should join forces in raising godly children and future leaders. Our job as a parent is to raise our children in the faith. We are to teach them about God and help them have a relationship with Him, whether it be in our house, when we're traveling, at night, or during the day. We are to lead them in the way that they should go. So, the Bible has so much truth in it, so many promises that God has given us. It also shows His character, which is very important to show our children. How He's loving, He's faithful, He's kind, He's a judge, He's fair. There are so many things that God is and that our children should know about Him, and that can be found through reading His Word. And it's our job to help them and show them His Word, whether it be in devotionals or smaller ways, but still giving them that truth, even if they aren't reading, the whole Bible themselves. A verse that I thought would go with this is Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old, he will not depart from it. And if we raise our children to love the Lord with their whole heart and build trust with them and be open to questions and conversations with them, they will more likely keep the faith they have learned and go on to be leaders and ministers in the kingdom. It is our responsibility to raise our kids to walk with God side by side so that when they get old, they will continue to follow Him. Some ways to teach your children at home. Family devotionals, like I mentioned, Bible memorization, that comes in very handy, especially when ministering to others. Christian music and stories, clean movies, and church activities. I listed some more specific examples here. I also have some links at the end of this presentation with more ideas that you can use for the family devotionals and Bible memorization. So for family devotionals, I have devotional books, and you could also act out Bible stories. This is a way to get kids truly involved and to them to see from the perspective of the character they are representing, and act out the story, and it would make the story come to life, and for them to see the beauty in it and to see how amazing it is and all the things that God has done. For Bible memorization, I put the balloon game, the erasing game, and songs. So the balloon game is you blow up some balloons and you put pieces, each word of the verse, in the balloon. You tie them up and you throw them on the floor. Obviously this would need to be watched because you usually use a sharp tack or dart or something for the balloons. I guess they could stomp on them. But anyway, you pop the balloon and then they'll get out the pieces of the verse and they have to put them in the correct order. And you can do this as many times as you want or use it with other games to help them memorize the material. The erasing game, that one you could use a whiteboard and write the verse up there, and then they could choose which words to erase, and you say the verse every time with taking away a word each time, and by the end they should be able to say it all. And it's an easier way to memorize and keep things crisp in their mind. Also songs. A lot of the time with memory verses, I just sing them with a random tune. You just sing the verses and they stick in your head for some reason. You could also use songs that they know, like Mary Had a Little Lamb or something, like with a tune that they know, to help them understand it more. Another way I'm thinking of, which I don't have on here, it may be in the website, but is writing words, drawing pictures with each word, to identify it with a certain image in their head, so that when they say it, they see the word. They see the pictures in the order, and then they'd be able to memorize it. Christian music and stories, Christian artists, Southern gospel, the older stuff, hymns, or contemporary Christian, the more upbeat songs, as long as they're biblically sound, of course. And then stories, I put Adventure and Odyssey. I know there's some other ones, but as a kid I listened to Adventures in Odyssey, and they have a lot of good moral truths in them. So that'd be something fun for them that's not necessarily biblical, but they're still learning biblical truths. Clean movies, you could use older movies, like the older kids' movies. They aren't biblical, but just to keep your child's mind clean from all the trash that is out there now. Also, the Bible Project has videos, and these videos break down either books of the Bible or different verses, different people, but it's sketched out. So you learn all these different facts about different things in the Bible, but you also see images with them, and it keeps them engaged, and it's an uninviting video. And then lastly, church activities, Sunday school, junior church, VBS, and outreach programs. Outreach programs would be a great way for your kid to be involved with the church, even if they're young. They can see that God can use them at any age, and that's incredible for them to learn. And then they'll grow up having a heart for ministry and for helping others, which is also incredible. The next section of verses, and the last one, is Deuteronomy 6:8-9. You shall bind them as a sign on your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. You shall write them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. God's promises and commands should follow you wherever you go. It is our job to spread His love and kindness to those around us. We are the only light some people will ever see. We must show a non-hypocritical light to our kids and those in the world. God commanded us to share His gospel. The verse that goes with this is Proverbs 16:2-3. All the ways of man are pure in his own eyes, but the Lord weighs the spirit. Commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will be established. I think this verse gives a clear command. We are to commit our work to the Lord, and He will bless us. His plan is perfect for our life. He knows exactly what our calling is. He gives us the strength and wisdom to raise a family. If we seek Him in our decision, He will guide our path. It's incredibly important to commit all we do to the Lord. Another verse in the Bible talks about glorifying the Lord in all we do. Everything that comes out of our mouth, every action we do, should be glorifying to the Lord if we want to be a true testimony and an example of Christ to other people. We cannot fall into just thinking, well, what does the world think? What does this person think about what I'm doing? The Lord is the one in the end who will judge us in the end and who we will answer to. So we must make sure that our actions and our words and everything that we do follows His principles and guidelines and is honorable for Him. Some ways to carry your faith with you and in your home. Bible verses, etc. around the house. You could have biblical pictures. I know they have like the roll of brown paper that you can pull down and put a verse on it every week. And that could also be a way that your kids memorize it, reading it every morning or whatever. Community activities. These don't necessarily have to be with your church, but you could get involved in local ministries or just help pick up trash. Whatever is an example. And people notice things like that. Just smiling at somebody, and people notice the light that you have inside of you. And it's a great example and testimony to people around you, just through community things that you do, or being kind to someone. And then lastly, sharing the gospel. This is very important for our children to see us do, in whatever capacity or way you can. Tracts, just talking to somebody, sending messages. You don't have to go out and, hand out tracts and talk to people one-on-one to minister to people. You can find whatever is your strength, whatever is your talent, and use it to share the gospel to other people. We should teach our kids to be proud of their faith and to be a good example to their friends at church and at school. It's important that they know that they are carrying the image of God. They are made in the image of God. They are created in the image of God, and they bear His light. And it's up to us to show them how to shine the light of Jesus and to have good attitudes and to be a smiling face to kids around them. It's not just adults that can share the gospel and can shine Jesus' light. It's kids. And they can do it in a more relaxed way because they're just having fun. But they could really reach somebody and get some kids to church and minister in their own way. My resources are right here. The two at the end are the ones about devotionals and then the Bible verse games. They have a lot of ideas on there if you want to go see. A lot of ideas for devotions. They may have some that I've mentioned on there, but a lot I probably haven't. And the Bible memorizing, which is very important for them to have. So, thank you.